Hello everyone and welcome to this episode on acoustic rhythm tips. For lack of a better title, I haven't called any of these anything really special. We talked about different pieces in the last several videos, and this one we're going to talk a little bit about acoustic rhythm patterns, because it's important to understand that you don't need to learn a whole lot of different patterns to be able to play a lot of songs. If you learn one pattern, you'll probably be able to play 100 songs under each pattern. But if you want to make a spreadsheet, or if you want to just draw it out on a sheet of paper, and, maybe draw out 4 or 5 columns for what I'm going to talk about here, just write the pattern up on the top and then just draw the columns down the center, and then list songs under each column. So the pattern is going to stay the same, but under each pattern you might have 10 or 15 songs, and it makes it very easy to learn a bunch of songs quickly because you've got the same pattern and you don't have to think about it back here with the right hand. It's going to go through the same rhythm that you're already playing, and that'll help you probably learn a bunch of songs quickly. And now the first pattern I want to talk about is just a simple note, up, down, up, note, up, down, up, note, up, down. Now the rhythm books, they have different symbols for the different whatever's going on back here. I just use letters, N for note, meaning the note of the chord I'm on. Up, down, up, note, up, down, up, note, up, down, up, note. Right? If I was playing a C, I'd be on the C note. And this kind of a pattern, you can play bass notes as well. So I can do a note, up, down, up, bass, up, down, up, note, up, down, up, bass, up, down, up, note, up, down, up, bass, up, down, up, note. Right? So you get into a groove after a while, and you just playing back and forth between the bass notes, right? Note, the root, and the bass, the root and the bass, right? Like that. And I want to know, have you ever seen the rain? Right? Note, up, down, up, note, up, down, up, note, up, down, up. So that's one pattern there, and you could use that song, for example, by CCR. Ooh, ride me high, tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come, and we're gonna fly down in the easy chair. An old Bob Dylan song called You Ain't Going Nowhere. Same pattern, right? And if I was going on a country theme, and if I was to speed this up a little bit, but I haven't changed anything back here. It's note, up, down, up, bass, up, down, up, note, up, down, up, bass, up, down, alright? Way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, it gets harder than a hoochie coochie. We laid rubber on the Georgia asphalt. We got a little crazy, but we never got caught, right? So that's the first pattern. Just note, up, down, up, note, up, down, up, note, up, down, up, and there's a gazillion songs that you could stick under that column. Now, we took a little change of pace and we went with a bit of a rock and roll kind of beat, like we looked at in the previous video, just playing like an A, D, and an E, for example, and using all downstrokes back here. Right, I'm just on the open A, and I'm playing the D and the G underneath there, and I'm just doing a hammering on the D string, on the A chord here. Don't tell my heart, my achy breaky heart, I just don't think you understand. And if you tell my heart, see, I'm just doing a little slide on this A string as we talked about last week, playing like a 2-note. Right, but the pattern's the same. I'm just doing all downstrokes with my right hand back here. I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. I hear you knocking. Alright, so that's like a couple of songs right there that you can play. A little high for me to sing, but you get the idea. That's a down, 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 down pattern. Alright, just a simple couple of D's across the top of that column, and then you can maybe list those 2 songs to start with, but there's a bunch of like old rock and roll stuff that fits under that you can dig out and play. Now this pattern is a little different. It's 2 downstrokes and an upstroke. Down, down, up, and then followed by up, down, up, down, up. So down, down, up, up, down, up, down, up. And then you just repeat that pattern like this here. Oh, the games people play now, every night and every day now. Never meaning what they say now, never say what they mean. Oh, da 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 da. Talking about you and me and the games people play. Oh, who's on the radio? You're gonna listen to the guitar man. Do 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 do, baby, it's a guitar man. So there's a pattern there, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, up. Games People Play by Joe South and Guitar Man, of course, by David Gates and Bread. Those two songs would fit under that pattern. And we could take something like note, down, up, note, down, up, note, down, up, note, down, up. This is known as three-quarter time, right? A lot of old fiddle songs will follow this pattern. Note, down, up, note, down, up, note, down, up. Now, I can't remember the words of all these songs, but I'll just give you a little hum through this one so you'll see this or hear the song. Try and catch the wind. Dear Abby, my feet are too long. My hair's falling out and my rights are all wrong. You play that in a different key. Should be played in C, right? Dear Abby, I can't believe this. My stomach makes noises whenever right? Note, down, up, 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 note, down, up. So you got a three-quarter. And you can play bass notes in there as well. Note, down, up, note, down, up, note, down, up, note, down, up. So there's one there by Donovan, Catch the Wind is that pattern, along with Dear Abby by John Prine. So there's two songs there you could fit under that column. And if we did one more, note, down, up, 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 note, down, up. And if I sped it up a little bit, I'd be into I'll go to a different key here. Alberta bound, it's good to be Alberta bound, Alberta bound, it's good to be Alberta bound. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home waiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Right? Long may you run, long may you run, although these changes have come. It's a little high for me to sing in this key here, but you get the idea, right? The pattern's the same. Note, down, up, note, up, down, up, note, down, up, note, up, down, up, note, down, up, note, up, down, up, note, down, up, note, up, down, up. Right, so there's a couple songs, one by Gordon Lightfoot, Alberta Bound, Will the Circle Be Unbroken, an old religious tune that's done by Johnny Cash, who else, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band does it, and then the last one, Long May You Run, that's a Neil Young tune. And now in these songs there may be different changes in the pattern in terms of a little bit of a shuffle here, or a little bit of a walk and bass, or a little bit of a slide pattern, or maybe there's a picking riff going on. The idea though is to learn to play rhythm all the way through. So if you were, if you were listening to one of my videos or playing along with one of my demo videos, any one of these songs, you take that first pattern, it's fairly simple, and just play rhythm along with what I'm teaching you. Don't worry about the guitar licks, and don't worry about the hammer-ons and anything else. Just get comfortable with playing the rhythm, and just pretend you're my rhythm guitar player, and you and I are going to play a little tune together, and just play rhythm. Get the lyrics up or whatever, get the key, get the chords written in above the words if you need to, and just play rhythm and get that pattern ingrained in your brain so that you'll recognize a lot of songs as soon as you hear them. Oh, that's a simple song, and then write that down under the column for the pattern that it fits under, and then go home, and if you're on on the radio, you hear it in the car or in a mall or something, make note of it, and then just fit it under one of those 5 columns for those songs. I mean, there's many more patterns than that, but that's a good start to get you going. And if you have to play back through this video, go ahead and make 5 columns and write down N, D up, D, D, U, D, U, or whatever it is, the pattern that I said for each of the 5 examples I give you. And then just list those songs and start with those, or find some others that fit under there. And just play rhythm first. And then basically after you get done playing that, you can do the walking bass notes. Like when I was doing Alberta Bound, for example, note up, down, up, note up, down, up, note up, down, up, note up, down, up, note down, up, note up, down, up, note down, up, note up, down, up. You can play just the basic note there on the chord, and then work in the bass note like that, and then do a walking bass to the F, and back to the C, and then up to the G, down to the C. And then eventually you'll learn a few runs, as we talked about in previous videos, and then you can blend, you just kind of build on each step. Work with the basic rhythm, work with playing the bass notes to the rhythm, work with doing some runs between the chords for that song, and then work on, once you got that figured out, then you can work on some hammer-ons, pull-offs, some slides, and then maybe if there's a picking break in there, then you can work on blending that in as well. But don't try and digest everything at once. You need to start with basic rhythm, just get the rhythm pattern back here. Get that pattern going all the way through the song, and then go back and work on the other parts until you can build on those skills, and then you'll have that in your back pocket, and then any song comes up that fits that pattern, you've got it aced. You just, maybe it's in a different chord, it starts in a different key or something, or you need a capo, but the pattern back here doesn't change. It's basically what it is. Okay, hopefully folks that helped a little bit, and like I said, if you do that little exercise and make some columns and write down those patterns and fit some songs in there, you'll have a whole bunch of songs that you'll be comfortable playing in no time. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you again soon.